One thing, people think of grace being something that they can buy in the market. Grace is far most not even possible for normal human being to receive it. So how would they able to understand? You see, to understand something, you must be above it, no? Then you can understand it. If you're not above it, how can you understand? Last week I had a group of French people. I was asked, somebody asked me a question, if we have to bother about other people or not. I said, well, why should you bother about other people? You don't even know yourself, firstly. How do you think other people know you? You know, people always think they know better than somebody else. And better than you know yourself. But how would that be possible? When you yourself don't know yourself, how would somebody else know you? That person must be above everything else, then he can know you. First he have to know himself. So grace is not something that, like, you see, often we talk about it. In all religion, we talk about only about attaining the grace of God. No? Even without understanding what it is, grace. No. We talk about it. Grace is not something that you can understand with the mind, because even spiritual people don't understand that. You see, grace is when the Lord Himself gave Himself. When God Himself is giving Himself to you, that grace. And how many have that? Krishna said in the Gita, out of millions, only a few attain me. But to attain that, it's not an easy thing. Grace is given. He's given His grace in a multitude form, which people don't understand. They take it for granted. They think they understand things. In reality, they don't. In a simple understanding, I will just giving it to you. Grace, which you have received as japam, for example. Can somebody describe that to me? You do japam. I see everybody holding a japamala. In a simple way, the grace which you are chanting, everybody, it carries a name. Japam is not just to take a beats and chant, like this, mechanically. Mechanically, people do this often. I was explaining to him in the car. You see, when something become a routine in life, it become mechanical. It become meaningless. You lose interest. You lose the joy of really enjoying it. Then what are you talking about the grace? When it become mechanical, then it become routine. It become like nothing have ever happened. But when something is new in your life, your enthusiasm, you have this enthusiasm inside of you. You have this urge to know better, to do things. But what happened afterwards? It's not that one is devout or that grace. That grace is there. Japam is there. But the problem is your mind have not attained what we call the great silent. Silent doesn't mean you stop talking or you stop thinking. Talking means also thinking. You see, when you're doing japam, the repetition of the divine name This continuous chanting awake that greater silence inside. That greater silence is devout of every limitation. That where your mind change from a limited mind to a divine mind. That's what this little beads what you hold in your hand and roll around chanting Om Namo Narayana does. It awake that deeper connection to the Supreme. That deeper connection to the Supreme happen, like I said, only when your mind enter into the great silent. Yeah, it's devout of the pair of opposite. It's devout of good and bad. It's devout of sad and happiness. It's devout of heat and cold, of everything. It's a state in the neutral state. In the middle. It don't waver from one side to the other. A mind which is always jumping from left to right, a mind which says this is good, automatically there will be bad. You know, if you talk about heat, automatically there will be cold. That mind have not yet entered into the grace of that silence. It's still longing for that silence. That's what Japam stands for. You know, when you're doing japa, you're chanting Om Namo Narayana. You're chanting the divine name, but at the same time the divine name is awakening that grace of the deeper silence inside of you, which connect you to the supreme reality. Those who have attained that reality, or any saint who ever have attained that reality, you know, they can talk about it. They will not talk about it because there's no word to describe it. Because you enter into a state of complete bliss. And this is the grace that you all carry with you when you're chanting the divine name. But to understand that, your mind is limited. That limited mind will understand only something which is limited. But grace is not something which you can hold. It's not that you can do business with God, said, I'm doing that much of sadhana, I will have that much of grace. That's what in the mind people always think about. You know, that if I'm doing that much, I will get that much. So I will do lots of prayer, I will be free like that. No, it's not like that. It's not about doing business with God. God doesn't want you to do business with Him, but He wants you to have this relationship to Him. Without any relationship with Him, you don't know Him. You don't know yourself. So that's why you see people doesn't understand even the grace of being here in this world. They take it for granted. This life, why have it been given to you? Why have you entered into this body? For what reason you are here? And this is the grace itself, because you don't come into this life just like that randomly. Nothing happened out of coincidence. Everything happened for a reason. And if you get to discover that reason in life, and that the grace of God. You see, behind everything in one life, it is only Him. It is not you. You think you know everything. You think you know best. You think you're in control of everything. No, you are not. If He don't give you that energy, if He withdraw from you the breath of life itself, would you exist? You will not. So grace is at all time with you. But don't abuse it. Don't think that yes, you are being given everything, yes, you will live forever. One moment to the other, He will click His finger and you will depart. Then He will ask you, what have you achieved? I have sent you there to attain me. Have you? What would you say? I was there busy earning my living. I was there busy looking for boyfriend, girlfriend, husband, wife. These are all stupid drama of life. And if you're wise, look towards Him. There is this beautiful picture, that show a very great sage sitting on a table with lot of gold, and books and everything. And there down is written, behind him there's death standing. Down to him there is a, a coffin. And above him there's God. And it said, love the one which is above you. Don't trust the one which is in front of you. You will not be able to escape the one behind you. And the one which is underneath you, it is inevitable. And this is what you call life. You forget, because the temptation of the world outside is far most too beautiful. But how long does that temptation hold its beauty? How long? Once you were beautiful and now you're full of wrinkles. Nobody want to look at you. They'll long for new one. So, you see, grace is what we have to long for. And to long for grace means to long for Him. Even if you don't know Him, He knows you. You know Him through His name. You call Him. When you are chanting, you're calling Him. You don't know somebody, but more you call the person, you start to know Him. You start to have a relationship with Him. Until your mind enter, like I said, for Japam, your mind enter into the great silent. And once that great silent awake, your communication and your connection to Him is sealed forever. And this is where bliss awake. The bliss is grace. So you see how wonderful God is. He have placed His grace in hidden situation. In your life, there is so many times He have shown His grace. Have you noticed it? No, you have not. You're busy focusing on your worry. You are busy focusing on life itself, thinking, oh yeah, you know better. Thinking what you don't have, but you forget that every step of your life, He guide. He give you chances. He placed each puzzle in the right place for you, but He don't force you. He allowed you to take it by yourself. That you have to be wise. If you are dumb, you will lose the most precious thing. That's what it said. Vastu amolika de mere Satguru Kripa karapana. The Guru have given the most precious thing, but you have to handle it properly. Tatki nav kevatiya Satguru Kripa. This Mirabai wrote this bhajan. She wrote this bhajan for Goswami Tulsidas. Goswami Tulsidas was a great devotee of Lord Rama. And Mirabai was a great devotee of Krishna. So Mirabai asked, Goswami Tulsidas asked Mirabai, why you chant only the name of Giridhari? Why you don't chant the name of Rama? Then he said, but you chant the name of Ram always. Why you don't chant the name of Krishna? So in this discussion, then she explained, look, Rama and Krishna is no different. Ram is the external reality of Srimad Narayana, whereas Krishna is the supreme reality of Narayana. There is no difference between them, but even if the Leela is no different, they don't look different. They dress the same. Just one have a crown, the other one have just the hair. But both of them were king. One hold a flute, the other one hold a bow and arrow. Now, when they put it away, they all will look the same. They're the same incarnation. But the feeling is different. The Leela which the Lord play with each one is different. And your level of consciousness is different. To which aspect you have this connection, that aspect will connect you to. And of course, this connection is not now. It's all. That's why Japam is nothing new about it. It's an old relationship which you have to know how to treasure it. The routine of things, like I was saying, we do Japam now, keep turning and turning and turning, 16 round, you go around. That's the routine of life. In life you go through routines, no? But is your mind connect with God during that routine? No, it is not. Your mind is attached to the world, but is not detached from the world. Japam is that routine where your mind is connected with God. When your super mind awake itself, or your divine mind awake itself. And that what is grace in little.